Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your January reading. Now, because these are so late, I'm going to be carrying these energies into February for the next 4 to 5 weeks ahead of now. So just so you know, we will still do February readings as always, but let's see what comes through here for Taurus for the January read. Okay. All right, you seem to be on a pretty solid course right now. And even though not everything is entirely clear, I think whatever plan you have in place is the way to go. And I don't think you need to be changing a lot right now. You don't need to be detouring, taking different routes that you weren't expecting. I really think your plan is great. And I think the steps that you're taking, the actions that you're taking, it's all building towards something, and you're doing a great job. I am seeing you being really structured and really focused, dedicated. This is the classic Taurian perseverance right here. Like, I don't think it gets any better than this. Not all of you are having, facing these huge goals and ambitions right now, and that's fine. So even if it's something small, I just stay the course. I think consistency is the really, really important thing, and just showing up as often as you can, every single day if you can, and just continuing to put whatever you need into it. I kind of like looking at these squiggly lines over here, and for some reason it makes me feel like what you're doing may not be the most exciting. Maybe the passion isn't totally on fire right now, but that is okay, right? We're in Capricorn season. We've got Mars, especially in Capricorn. Even as the sun comes into Aquarius, it's not like this is a super hot moment in time, okay? We don't have tons of fire in the chart. So the passion is great, but discipline is also really important, discipline and focus. And I think right now, the discipline and focus is more important. And the passion, I think, will come back. If you're not really feeling it, the passion will come back as you start seeing progress and as you start seeing the results. Okay, so have faith in what you've already established, because I think there's a lot of really great stuff there. And there's no reason for you to get sidetracked, and there's no reason for you to overcomplicate things. Okay? The end of a tough cycle approaches. Beautiful. I love when this card comes out, because sometimes it makes me just want to swipe my forehead and be like, phew, thank goodness, right? The end of a tough cycle approaches. And this isn't more true this month than any other time, because Pluto is I'm not going to say it's totally done in Capricorn, because it's not. It will come back into Capricorn for a couple of months near the end of the year, but it's basically going to be in Aquarius for the whole year. It's moving into that new era. We're slowly introducing this new frontier in our lives. For you, this is a highly prominent placement coming over that 10th house cusp. And your direction in life, it is going to start to change and start to evolve. And I think whatever struggles, whatever turbulence, whatever big obstacles and problems you've had to overcome, I'm not saying there won't still be issues, because it's still life and we're still human beings, but I think the really hard stuff is coming to a close. And that is something, hopefully, to kind of keep you motivated to stay the course. So let's see what the tarot has to say here for Taurus. What is it that they need to know for the upcoming weeks? The Wheel of Fortune. See, even the Eight of Coins, clearly, you're putting your head down, you're going to work, you're not distracting yourself, you're not wasting time and energy on frivolous things, you're not leaking energy. To me, this is the epitome of manifestation. Okay, the Eight of Coins is such an important card. It's kind of hidden in the minor arcana. It's kind of it's just one of many cards, but this is where ideas come into form. This is where your dreams and your plans and your ideas and your thoughts and feelings and all these things, this is where you actually get your hands dirty, do the work, and start seeing things get built. With Mars and Capricorn, this is a huge building transit. We want to be building with Mars and Capricorn, which is going to be there until February, I think it's February 13th. So for the next month, Mars will be in Capricorn, and we have this opportunity to lay these bricks and to do these tasks and to kind of check off all these task list items that are important for the other things, for the bigger things that we're trying to build. So that's really why this is such a wonderful card to get. It indicates also a flow state. This is not complicated. This is usually taking the talent and skill that you already have and applying it to something. So there isn't this huge learning curve going on. It's not about learning all this new stuff. It's about just simply doing stuff. Stuff you already know how to do. It's just a matter of doing it. Wheel of Fortune reverse. I'm not concerned about the reversal on this. Okay. Some people get concerned when it's reversed because they think it means something negative. It doesn't. Wheel of Fortune, it's a wheel. So whether it's upright or reversed, it doesn't really matter. It's always spinning in all the directions, or spinning in one direction. But it can indicate kind of an extension of time. And that's maybe, I think, why people don't, really like the Wheel of Fortune reversed all that much, because it just means longer time frames. I would say to take time out of the equation with things. Like, for example, let's say you're writing a book. I wouldn't say, okay, I have to have this book done in 6 months. What I would say instead is sit down and write your book today. And did you really kind of put a lot into it? Did you put enough into it today? And then don't worry about how long it takes. Unless you're, of course, obviously under some deadline from a client or a boss or something. That's a little different. But when it comes to the things you're trying to build for your life, putting those time caps on it, it's not going to be that helpful for you. The Wheel of Fortune likes to breadcrumb us forward, just one step, then the next step, then the next step, then the next step. It's very rare that we have everything happening all at once. All we know is here we are, and once we arrive at the next point, then we can really see the possibility of the point after that. We can have a big plan, but we don't have to shoot for that big plan all the time. Let's just break that bigger plan down into smaller little plans, smaller little goals, and do that today. Make it easy, make it manageable. I look at this Knight of Wands, it feels like a distraction to me. It feels like a person, feels like an opportunity, feels like a party, feels like something. Now, I'm not saying you cannot have fun. Please enjoy your life. But the Knight of Wands can be really disruptive, and I'm feeling a disruptive quality coming from that card. It's like, let me work. I'm a Taurus. I'm focused. I'm determined. I know what I'm doing. I'm building something. Please don't interrupt me. Minimizing interruptions is going to be so helpful. Minimizing, distractions. And I'm sure the Knight of Wands is a great person. I'm sure you love that person. I'm sure they're positive and really optimistic and outgoing, and it's all great, but I don't know that they can really help you with this, and that's the problem. This isn't very helpful. This is one thing with not only the North Node in Aries, but also Jupiter in Taurus. We're just in this really autonomous, independent place right now, and it's not necessarily the best time astrologically to depend so heavily on others. We can't get away from that entirely. Obviously, life depends on dependence of other people. Society at large depends on it. But when it comes to your own personal goals, there are just things that only you can do right now. Right? And this person, they can't help. They can only distract. I think they mean well. I see no negativity coming from that Knight of Wands. It might be a spouse, it might be even a child. Of course, you love your children. Of course, you love your spouses. Of course, you love your family members. You love your friends. I get it. But I just don't know how beneficial their presence is in whatever this Eight of Coins is, whatever it is you're building. If this is not a person, it might be something that you distract yourself with, right? Something that you like to escape with, like TV, maybe even reading books. As much as I love to read books, they are a form of escapism, right? Or some other kind of hobby or something that you enjoy doing, and maybe there's a passion there, but does it, like, this is what I mean when I say discipline. Like, you're going to need a little bit more discipline this month. We can have fun later. The sun comes into Aquarius, when Mars comes into Aquarius, Mercury, Venus, those will all come in February. We can have more fun then, right? But for now, discipline. Okay. I love the Fool, because it feels like you're just diving in. Feels like you're committing. Feels like you are kind of having that little powwow with yourself and saying, okay, this is it. We're doing it. We're not holding back. We're not just going to keep talking about it anymore. We're actually going to do something about it. We're not just going to only have this idea. Because I don't think Taurus, like, this is not just about ideas. It's not good enough for Taurus right now to just have an idea. It's going to have to convert, right? This is what I mean by manifestation and transmutation with that Eight of Coins. You take that idea and you convert it into something real. Fool's ready. I think Taurus is ready. They're ready for the reality of their goal. To have it, to claim it, to be able to put their hands on it, whatever it is. You want it to be real. And with the Five of Coins reverse, this kind of goes hand in hand with a tough cycle. The end of a tough cycle approaches. And I think maybe you're being driven by that circumstance, whatever pain, whatever scarcity, whatever lack, whatever brokenness, whatever it was. For some of you, maybe it's heartbreak. Some of you, it's financial. Some of you, it's family relationships. There's all sorts of things that this could be. And this is a driver. Hopefully, it can be a huge driver. It can be one of those things that motivates you to sit down and do this because you never really want to be here again. You sit down and do this because you know how much this sucks. You know how much that hurts. You know how much energy it takes from you. Right? So I just don't see you wallowing. I don't see you complaining. I don't see you doing the little self-pity party thing. I see you kind of kicking yourself in gear and being like, no, we're going to do this. And with the I don't mind the Two of Swords reversed because it feels decisive to me. It feels like Taurus says, that's the path. I'm not going to dilly-dally. I'm not going to be all wishy-washy. I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm not going to make this process harder than it is. Look, if you need to change course later on, you can. But to me, this line straight down the middle, this looks like a straight line. This does not look like there's lots of curvature in this path. It feels linear to me. And if you are feeling resistance and you're feeling hesitant, that might be something rooted in something deeper, right? You're feeling resistant to do the Eight of Coins because there's insecurity or there's pain, there's hurt, there's, fear, there's shame, there's guilt, whatever that deeper emotion is. That would be the only reason why I think you'd be stopping short. That would be the only reason I think that you'd be tempted by that Knight of Wands. That Knight of Wands feels like a temptation. It feels like a little devil on your shoulder, like whispering thing, like, oh, wouldn't you rather be going and doing this? It's like the devil and the angel on the shoulder, the thing you know you need to do versus the thing that you're trying to run away to. but you don't have to be resistant. I think you probably have some kind of a problem or some kind of a something right in front of you. And I think you know exactly what to do. It's just a matter of doing it. That's why I like the Fool, because it says, you know what? Let's just jump in head first, straight into the deep end. Like, let's just go all in all at once. Because this Wheel of Fortune, it's never going to turn over if you don't do that. The Wheel of Fortune feels like maybe it's waiting. Remember, I said it was kind of connected with time. Maybe it's waiting for you, Taurus, to do something or to make a move. It's waiting for you to kind of build up a few of these coins before it can push you into the next level. But there has to be action on your end. When Mars is in an earth sign, this is heavy action time. And I will say, you guys probably are sick of hearing me say this. I would argue that earth sign, I know in astrology we always say that's fire signs. Fire signs are action. No, fire signs are desire, impulse, but doesn't necessarily equate to action. Earth signs is action, because that is where we use our physical body, our physical vessel, and work with things in the physical world, in the material world. Mars is in an earth sign, which means this is prime time to take action, which means the ball is in our court. We have to be the ones to take the action. Okay? If you want to do that little delicate dance with the universe, you have to take some steps. If you want the universe to respond, you're going to have to take a few steps forward so it can respond. Otherwise, it's just going to continue to respond to where you've been. Okay, I like the Tower a lot. I like the Tower when it comes out with the Wheel of Fortune, because I always say the Tower is the Wheel of Fortune in disguise. That's my little saying that I always say. And then the Eight of Wands. Like, again, even straight lines here. This is what I mean when I say I don't see curvature in your path. I don't see obstacles. Everything feels like it's lining up. Now, that's not to say that everything's going to be perfect. I don't want you to misconstrue my message. It just means that path is right in front of you. It's clear. And if you start taking steps like that, it's not going to be hard for Taurus to build up this momentum at all. You just have to jump in. You have to dive in. And I think the Fool and the Tower are intrinsically connected here. The Fool is the Tower. The Tower is the Fool. It's jumping in head first. It's changing the game is what it's doing. You're changing the game. You're changing the narrative. You're changing the story of your life. This is so powerful. I really think we underestimate that Eight of Coins a lot. There are some of these minor arcana cards that I think just we often glance over and we give some sort of trite meanings to, but this is like what life is. The Eight of Coins, that's what the essence of life. And I think by you diving in and saying no, because this may also be connected with the Tower here, because this is like the minute you put it out in the universe that say, no, I'm not going to be distracted. I'm not going to be distracted. I'm not going to succumb to that temptation. I'm going to stay focused and disciplined. I'm going to dive into this and I'm going to make sure these wheels start moving. The universe kind of says, okay, well, that's different. So let's start bringing different things to Taurus. And to be honest, we have Uranus stationing direct in your sign, right? So you're going to feel that transition from retrograde to moving direct. Uranus is a powerful planet of change, revolution, chaos sometimes. It can be inventive and innovative. There can be incredible new ideas that come forward during this time too. Not to mention we're going to have Mercury in Capricorn as well, which I personally really like a Mercury in Capricorn a lot. So, you know, there's just a lot of logic, practicality, intelligence, much higher intelligence than normal. So this is kind of breaking the code. And wherever there's rigidity, wherever there's stubbornness, you're just sort of marching straight through it, marching straight through that boundary. This is how you march forward. by checking off the task list items. I know it's not the sexiest thing. It's not sexy. I get it. But Mars, Mercury, and eventually Venus are all going to be in Capricorn this month. Yes, the sun will move into Aquarius, but I think we're just heavy Capricorn, heavy Taurus right now with Jupiter and Uranus in there. So we got a lot of Earth in the chart. And this is the way that you close out this Pluto in Capricorn era. This is the way you walk out of it. This is the way you introduce a new aspect of life into your life. It's the way you develop a new identity, a new sense of self. It's the way you level up. And I feel a readiness. I feel like Taurus is ready for that. And maybe in the past you said you were ready. There's a huge difference between saying, it's like, I was really sick in December and I binged watched a show called Married at First Sight on Netflix. And these are people who get married to someone that they've never met or spoken to. They don't even know the person's name. And in the beginning of that show, every single contestant is like, I'm ready. Well, not contestant. It's not a contest, but every single person, I'm ready for marriage. This is what I want. This is what I think marriage is. And then they get into these, arranged relationships. And they're like, oh man, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, right? It's all very dramatic. It's like a reality show, right? It's all very dramatic. It's like, yeah, you said you were ready. You think you're ready, but it's a completely different thing to actually be ready and take those steps in a real way and to change and evolve in a real way. This feels like you're ready in a real way. You're not just saying it. You're not just posing. You're not talking a big talk. This is what Pluto in Aquarius is doing to all of us to some degree, but I think it's prominent for Taurus, prominent especially for most of the fixed signs in general. But you're going to have the most public transformation because that's the 10th house. And I do want to point out one more thing too, that this is the last time that Pluto and the sun will come into a conjunction in Capricorn ever in your lifetime. So this is really the end of an era, truly, truly, truly. And it seems like you can feel it and you're ready for the next one. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started with the clarifiers. So for those of you who are new, the cards I'm about to pull out are the cards we'll cover in the comprehensive reading. We usually talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about all these cards, and you can find the information for that down in the description box down below. So let's take a look at this Wheel of Fortune. What does Taurus need to know about the Wheel of Fortune? Ace of Coins reversed. Justice. Another Fool. Love it. Beautiful. Six of Wands. Five of Coins. Yeah, I knew these two were linked. They had to be. Eight of Swords reversed. Excellent. 10 of Cups. 3 of Cups. The Lovers. It's so tempting. My goodness. All right, well, we'll talk about it. King of Swords. Strength. Strength has been making quite the appearance this month so far. Not surprised she's coming out. We have the Hierophant. 5 of Cups reversed. So 5 of Coins and 5 of Cups reversed with an Emperor reversed. 6 of Coins. Things seem to be leveling out for you. Beautiful 10 of Wands. Magician reversed. And 3 of Wands. Okay. 4 of Coins reversed. King of Wands. 4 of Wands. For the Tower card. Chariot reversed. Okay, that tower may be a little more dramatic. Another another tower. Tower on top of a tower. I'm going to get it one more card. The Sun. Beautiful. Two of Coins, Knight of Cups reversed, and Queen of Wands. Okay, so this is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive. So if you want to join, all the info is down below. Thank you all so much. Love you. Have an amazing month, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.